Good afternoon, another beautiful day in Wollongong. Let's make this year the year of the Patriots, especially the Australian Patriots. I'd like to thank Harry and his team for all the work they've done throughout Australia, getting everyone together for Australia Day with the convoys. Wherever I go, whoever I talk to, they say, "Do you know Harry?" Harry has so many friends out there. It's amazing. I think most people in Australia in the Patriot movement would do whatever they had to for Harry. Harry's making a difference, and it's important that each one of us makes a difference. One of the other exciting things that happened this year was Security and Freedom Australia, better known as SAFA, put out a report. It's only a draft report, and it's called Australian Attitudes to Islamophobia Report 2019. It's very well put together. Very well. It was put together due to some misconceptions that people have out there because of two university reports on Islamophobia, and I'm hoping there's a link in the report, but I'm hoping that everyone will read those as well. It was no surprise when I saw some of the results. 98% of all Australians surveyed associated terrorism with Islam. 95% agree that Islam is not a religion of peace. No surprise. Maybe it's a surprise to the government. 99.36% of Australians do not recognise Islam as a race. 95% say criticising Islam is not Islamophobia, and 75% want a national register of Islamic anti-Australian activities. That was very important in itself. I was surprised, but I shouldn't have been, because a lot of the 19cc Bikers Against Political Islam and 1931 the Citizens Army are coming across it all the time. They're telling me stories and they're all anti-Islam stories throughout Australia. Now, I've sent this report out to many people. Remember, it's a draft report. I'm wanting you to send it on to other people. If you've got any information on the report, SAFA will be able to answer it. Paul Taylor is with SAFA on the board. He's the representative that can answer any questions for you. So if you've got questions, you can send them to me and I'll pass them on to SAFA, or you can send it to president@safa.net. and they'll get back to you. There's been a few people have told me they've been sending them out to politicians and things like that. Keep up that good work. Please distribute it. But something else I want to talk to you about, and it's just as important. We're only going to win this war in the ballot box. It's going to have to be at the ballot box that will win this war. The battleground is in the electorate, so we're looking for people who are willing to lead the battle in each of those electorates, who's willing to get out there and meet people and gather them together so they'll be able to support those politicians who are supporting us in each electorate. One of the things I've noticed is that the politicians that we would like to see in government, their parties don't get much funding. But when I have a look at the Greens, Labor and Liberal, that's amazing. So it's important that if you can't give money to the party of your choice, the political party that's going to mean most to us and for a better Australia, then it's important that you're out in that electorate handing out brochures and etc. and there on polling day. We've got to have the balls to stand up at the polling booths and let people see who we are and what we are. We're Australians, and there's so many things happening to Australians at the moment, and they're not good. The government screws everyone over. There's 1.1 million, so they tell me, children in poverty in Australia, yet the government gives all the money overseas. Why aren't we fixing that? Other things is the banks. Look what the banks have been doing to us. Look at AMP and other insurance companies. It's the Australian, you and I, those who are out there making a living, just in a lot of cases. The government shows that they do not care about us. And they don't seem to be too worried, but by stealth at the ballot box, and if you can get the people in your electorate to vote for the right people, then they're just going to fall on their arse, and we're going to have a better Australia. I get a lot of people asking me, who should I vote for? Well, that's up to you. But I'd vote for someone that's strategically, for someone that is going to do what you need a real government to do. If you have a look at all the pedophilia that was in the Labor Party, it makes me wonder if there was a big network there. A lot of our members tell us they're being abused in institutions and things like that. Well, we're not going to accept that. In fact, pedophilia is one thing that we're fighting. We're giving over to the country over to China because the government wants the money, not to help the people, but they just seem to want the money to do them favours. Election time, they praise what they've done, and they tell us what they're really going to do. But as you know, you can tell when a politician is lying because the majority of them have their mouths open at the time. Now please make sure that draft report gets out to your friends and family. And when I went through the report, I thought, yeah, that's exactly what people are telling me they feel about political Islam in Australia. Also, 19cc, we need to be out there recruiting. We need to get more biker members, patch members. 1931, Citizens Army, yes, there too, we need more patch members. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much for listening.